As promised, I'm here with your first chapter. This is the first page or cover page of your book, Beehive. Then we have the content list. There we have one poetry, followed by the chapter which we are going to read, and then prose and poetry. Let's come to the very first chapter, The Fun They Had. The Fun They Had is a futuristic story, as I already told you. The story we shall read is set in the future. Future is somewhere in 22nd century, when the books and schools as we now know them will perhaps not exist. Now, how will children study then? The diagram below may give you some idea. Now you can see some pictures. Then first is learning through computers as we are doing it now. It is a very fleeting phase which will go away, but certainly now we are doing the same. Virtual classroom. Virtual is something which is opposite to real. Real is which you can see, and virtual is something which is on the screen, which is not real. Visuals. Moving e-text and robotic teacher. Certainly you don't have a robotic teacher, lucky you. You have a human teacher like me. In pairs, discuss three things that you like best about your school. You have many of them, no? You love your school, isn't it? Three things about your school that you would like to change, and write them down. You have a long list of that too. And this is an assignment for you, all of you, to write down and make a list of things. I know you, ma'am, there should be a canteen, ma'am, there should be larger, big playground, and there should be more than one, games period in a week. List is long. Have you ever read words on the television or computer screen? Can you imagine a time when all books will be on computers and there will be no books printed on paper? Would you like such books better? This is an open-ended question which we are left with, and let's ponder over and think about it, that how will be the time when there will be no book. Margie even wrote about it that night in her diary. Diary is very, no, very, no, like mistakes prone word. You often confuse it with dairy. Diary is, when you write a diary, you write for yourself. You cannot write a diary for anybody else. So diary is followed, D is followed by I, then it is D-I-A-R-Y, is diary that you write in. Dairy is D-A-I-R-Y. So diary is D followed by I. You write for yourself. On the page headed 17th May 2157, she wrote, "Today Tommy found a real book!" Exclamatory mark. Real book, they mean what you read today in the books which is printed on paper. It was a very old book. Margie's grandfather once said that when he was a little boy, his grandfather told him that there was a time when old stories were printed on paper. They turned the pages which were yellow and crinkly. Crinkly is crumbled. When you old they become pale, yellow, and crinkly is crumbled or wrinkled. Or a word written there, there is written the word meaning here, crinkly with many folds or lines. It was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way they were. Now, see, they were amazed to see the words, they stand still. They are not movable words. Supposed to, or on a screen, and then when they turn back to the page before, it had the same words on it that it had had when they read it the first time. It is a misprint, no? Had. You can't have the word had repeated. Sorry, it is not a mistake. Suppose I give you a sentence: I have a pet dog. This is a simple present tense. Now change into the past tense. I had a pet dog. Simple past tense. Make it as present perfect tense. I have had a pet dog. Now make it past perfect. I had a pet dog. So when you have a past perfect tense with the verb have, you use had and had together. G, said Tommy. What a waste when you are through through with the book, you just throw it away. I guess a television screen must have had million books on it, and it's good for plenty more. I wouldn't throw it away. Same with mine, said Margie. She was 11 and hadn't seen as many telebooks as Tommy had. He was 13. She said, "Where did you find it?" "In my house." He pointed without looking because he was busy reading. "In the attic." He replied, "In the attic." Attic is a kind of a storeroom at the topmost floor of your house. What it about? You know, it is written a space just below the roof used for storeroom. What is about? School. Margie was scornful. What do you mean by scornful? No, something showing contemptuous, hateful towards it. Oh, you hate it. No? School. What there to write about school? I hate school. Margie always hated school, but now she hated it more than ever. The mechanical teacher had been giving her test after test in geography, and she had been doing worse and worse until her mother had shaken her head sorrowfully and sent for the county inspector. County inspector is somebody who looks after the mechanism of their school or mechanical teacher. He was round little man with a red face and a whole box of tools with dials and wires. He smiled at Margie and gave her an apple, then took the teacher apart. See, mechanical teacher apart from the screen. Margie had hoped that he wouldn't know how to put it together again. Now, this is what the little mind always think of. They think about something, they have all the excuse not to study. So she is also thinking that it is unrepairable thing when she is not able to cope up with the geography task. It should not come up again. But he knew how all right, and after an hour or so, there it was again, large, black, ugly, with a big screen on which all lessons were shown and the questions were asked. That wasn't so bad. The part Margie hated. The part Margie hated most was the slot where she had to put homework and test paper. You all also hate it, no? Isn't it? She always had to write them out in a punch code. They made her learn when she was 6 years old, and then mechanical teacher calculated the marks in no time. Now, this is certainly the homework not liked by anybody, but can you suggest any other way to learn? Learning is only by doing it. And doing is what homework is. So just be prompt with your homeworks. Next part of chapter we'll deal in the next set of videos. Thank you.